Welcome back. Let's go back to tournaments of the past. 25 years ago, the Valley Boys on their amazing run. Nick Pewat with a free throw with under 20 seconds left helps the Cavs win their third straight on the way to 6 in a row. 10 years ago, Cape Elizabeth needed every second as Ethan Murphy's buzzer beater gave Jim Ray's Capers the 2015 championship over Potomac. And in 2020, one of the great games in state history, Caribou and Maranacook. The Vikings take down the Black Bears in double overtime. What a memory for those players. Now, the Maine Association of Basketball Coaches and Ronald McDonald House Charities annually present All-Star Weekend for Maine high school basketball. One of the highlights, the Mr. and Miss Basketball Awards. The coaches have done their voting, and here are the top 10 for Miss Basketball. The Miss Basketball semifinalists: Ella Pelletier of Oxford Hills High School, Avery Bessie out of Spruce Mountain, Madeline Depre of Caribou, Julia Reed, Gorham High School, Lexi Morin, Brunswick High School, Lily Oliver, Fort Kent, Isabella Morelli, Gray New Gloucester, Kaitana Williamson, Madomic Valley, Aubriana Hoos, Oceanside, and Abby Morrill, Coney High School. Now, a panel will break that down to 3 finalists, and then they'll reveal the Mr. and Miss Basketball winners on championship weekend, or rather after championship weekend, up at All-Star Weekend. Now, the girls' AA tournament, as we turn to that, it looks wide open like it usually is, and it depends on who's going to show up, will determine who will be the champion. Strong athletic guards help Edward Little dictate games with its defense, and Rachel Penny is a threat to go off. Like E.L., Wyndham's bread and butter is its defense. The Eagles lock down, and sophomore Mackenzie Delewski has stepped up as a reliable scorer. Cheverus will try to turn defense to offense, and Kylie Lamson is the type of player who could lead a team to a title run. Oxford Hills has a state title experience with Ella Pelletier and Gabby Tibbetts, who won as sophomores. Pelletier leads the big schools in scoring a game at 24, and Tibbetts is a floor general. In the South, Sanford won 11 of its last 13 and has an inside presence in freshman star Molly Puffer. Gorham has won the South 3 straight years and brings back experience from those title runs. The Rams turn defense to offense, averaging double-digit steals per game. South Portland is young and talented. Destiny Peter has emerged as a double-double machine, and on any given night, 5 players could lead the Riots in scoring. All right, and they captured that top seed on the last night of the regular season. Michael Hoffer's back to help me break this down. And in the North, Cheverus and Oxford Hills, they've dominated, combining for the last 5 championships, and that's where you're going to start.
Absolutely, and I think the last 3 years we pretty much knew it was going to be Cheverus Oxford Hills in the regional final. This year it's not such a sure thing. It could happen, but there's some other teams standing in the way. Stags coach Billy Goodman says there's 10 teams in Class AA that could beat anyone on a given night, and one of those is Edward Little, who came down and beat Cheverus earlier this season. So that could be a terrific semifinal if both teams advance. And then you've got this amazing quarterfinal between Bangor and Wyndham. You're going to have a great team that doesn't even get to the Civic Center. So what a strong field there. And then in the South, I'm so impressed with South Portland, how far they've come. First-year coach Brianne Maloney, she's done a phenomenal job with this team. And like you said, any of their starters can come up big on a given night, and they're really peaking at the right time. 2 late wins over Gorham, a win over Cheverus. They really feel like they might have that look as a team that might be ready to take that next step. And Gorham you can never overlook, of course, but just a lot of talented teams and a lot of terrific players with Ella Pelletier and Kylie Lamson kind of leading the way. Sanford, as of late, is sometimes shown that it is a tournament team and played its best basketball on the big floor. And Thornton Academy, a young team as well, that's kind of coming on as well, as you said. And Oxford Hills, one of their losses this year, 2 of them came to Bangor, which they possibly could play down the road here. All right, thanks, Michael. We'll be back with you in a moment when we talk AA. Now, one of the secrets of the magic of the tournament, the family connections. Fathers and mothers coaching sons and daughters, but in the Latour household, they have their own version of the Civil War. Tavian, a senior at Deering. AJ is a sophomore at Cheverus.
We played a lot outside, so there was a lot of fights that we had playing 1v1 outside. Even younger leagues playing together on the same team. It was kind of like our own little chemistry that no one else had.
It's always a topic in the house, We got him the first time. I was kind of bragging about it, but last time we played, he got us, so it was a little back and forth.
It's now become fun. We get to talk about his games and how our games went especially when you play each other. There's a lot of stuff that happens at home, but then to settle it during the game. And after, it's a little chippy, but then we're back to brothers again.
The only way that they could meet would be in the state championship if Deering and Cheverus made it. And, well, we're going to take a look at that AA playoff picture for the boys. Wouldn't that be some story? Be a wild time in the Wachura household. And we're going to reveal the Mr. Basketball semifinalists. That's when we come back on the Tournament Preview Show.